Greetings, Sanbon, Dumelang, Molweni, Hi, Habshin. It is an absolute pleasure for me to be able to connect with you in this particular module because as we are Nizwane, a faculty member of the Gordon Institute of Business Science, it has always been an honor and a privilege to be able to engage with business people. You are a business person. You are part of a diverse grouping of people who are providing essential products and services to Exxaro. You're part of the transformation of the industry. Your engagement is what's making a difference in how we do business in our country. You're operating right now in the 21st year of the 21st century in ways that are requiring you to embrace technology better and more than any other time before. We need to be discussing business modeling as a strategy. This time together is also going to be taking us through the key elements of strategy and particularly business strategy. But of course, business is an organism that is a part of what makes up human beings' ability to express themselves while rendering services and products that others purchase because they are addressing specific needs they already have. In the time that we will have together, we will go through a process that's pretty much preparatory. I'm choosing to be able to draw insights from the social sector and the pure for-profit environment. But also, we will interact with what's happening in a global space, at a continental level, and at a regional level within SADC. You are a part of the transformation that our country has been looking for. I'm delighted to be working with you in this module. Knowing and understanding that you've got a variety of needs as this program goes, it is vital for me to be able to highlight that as you run your business, there are various stages that you would have gone into. We are having this conversation right now in the midst of COVID-19, and we are in the 21st year of the 21st century. That in itself positions us slightly differently to anybody who may have been there 21 years ago. You are participating in this program also with full knowledge that you've got backing of transformational legislation that has made it possible for your enterprise to be entered into the database of Exxaro, but also ensure that database is not just the entry of your organization's name, but it is affording your organization great success. Some of you have indicated that you are participating in this program in order to be able to learn how you could be able to get more business for your own company. You've also indicated that you would like to grow your business. Some are looking for key business skills, getting to innovate and do things better than have always been done previously. Some of you are looking into this as an opportunity to be able to ensure that you can have a breakthrough into your own strategic direction for your business. With that in mind, I'm excited to be able to highlight through to you that what we'll be sharing will be insights that come through and are relevant for businesses, be they small, medium, and in fact, large enterprises. You will know fully well that any business that is with their name has got to be able to develop a strategy to engage in business. In order to engage in business, you've got to be able to appreciate that strategy in itself is a game plan. Strategy in itself is about making some choices around what you do in order to make a difference and distinguish your enterprise from any other that has been there. So, if you are to be able to contemplate, business essentially goes through at least 3 stages. There is business strategy development. We call that business 101. that you would have done before you came through to this, be a part of Exxaro. But you may also want to be able to refine your business strategy. We are going to be using business modeling as an approach to be able to strengthen, fortify, refine your business strategy. You would also appreciate that strategy is worth nothing if it is not executed. So execution of your strategy will be extremely vital. There will be methodologies that we can share with you that help you to be able to have a disciplined approach to executing a strategy. We will share that later on as we engage with you in the area specifically on business modeling. But I think it's also important for you to appreciate that your enterprise needs to be able to sustain itself. You need to be able to build it such that generations into the future are going to be able to find something of value out of engaging with the suppliers that are there, the customers that are there, and even Exxaro, who is your existing key client. Sustaining business is what also ensures that there is a future. Sustainable business is what ensures that you get to be attractive to future investors. So a sustainable enterprise is what you would want to be able to put forward. It is also important for you to, at any given time, look into how you are doing with your business. Review progress you've made so far. And then, having arrived at the point of understanding whether you're succeeding or struggling, plan ahead to get to where you're desiring to be able to get to. It is important to always be on the lookout for what's happening in your business. Your dashboard speaks to you on an ongoing basis. Nobody drives without checking what's happening on their dials. Therefore, constantly review your business, plan for the future so that it is one you can be excited about. The business environment we have been operating within over the last decade, and especially the last year, has been one where there's been so much volatility of markets, uncertainty in supply and customer response, complexity around what it is that people are looking for. And sometimes, as many people are delivering the same thing, there's been ambiguity as to what is it that the customer is really looking for and what is it that we as entrepreneurs are bringing through to them. But what that is required of each and every business person is agility. a key skill to succeed in all environments. Indeed, Darwin said, "It is not the strongest nor the fastest of species that survive. It is the adaptive that survive." And therefore, it is vital at this moment for you to think about your own agility as a business owner. Jeff Henderson released a very instrumental book and very instructive book last year. He calls it Know What You Are For. It is vital to be able to contemplate that in many organizations, in the writing of and conceptualization of mission statements, vision statements, there is a lot about we want to be the best in the world for. That is something that you may very well be doing. But if it is to be that you have not contemplated the exact for thing, you might fall into the trap of, I want to be the best in the world. And when you want to be the best in the world and not for the world, chances are there will be a stakeholder base that will be suffering as a consequence of your conducting business. Jeff presents 4 primary stakeholders that we need to be able to contemplate. Indeed, you may already have listened to the podcast that is accompanying this particular learning plan. In the mapping, what comes through is it is important to know that your business, while it is there specifically to address itself to customer requirements, the starting point has got to be society at large. Thinking about how you're going to be able to make your business to be good for society extends your territory. Indeed, the second very crucial stakeholder base is that of the customer. After all, we have been taught many times, customer is king. We do not exist unless there is a customer and there is a need that we are meeting. In order to be able to do a good job of supplying to our customers, we need to be able to form teams which are diverse in their thinking, diverse in their approach, diverse in their delivery. It benefits us if we are to be able to have a harmonious working team that is aligned to the same goal, the same vision. The final stakeholder in conducting any business is yourself. After all, you started the business. You started the business for a reason. You may have started just to survive. You may have started to be a player in the economy. You may have started for a variety of reasons, but it is important that you take good care of yourself, that there is an association of the business to you as a person. In a sense, it is personality of the business represents you as you pass it on and make it permeate to the culture of your enterprise. We strongly believe that business exists in order to be able to address specific needs that the stakeholders out there and the customers, especially Exxaro, which is your organization that you are servicing right now, they've got specific needs. When those needs are there and they're looking for somebody who can fulfill them, they will be checking what results they've gotten up until now. Your opportunity arises when you can compare what the organization is needing and what has been delivered up until now, and you can have your unique proposition. What is also going to be able to come through and be very clear is that you need to have your purpose statement, which we spoke to earlier, as very clear to you that anyone who's part of the organization will be able to understand when they rise up every morning, this is my core purpose. Purpose executed with excellence translates into your vision. If you are able to articulate your purpose very well, and you can get everybody to be excited about it, it provides clear vision for where you're going to. Solomon said it beautifully. Where there is no vision, people perish. So for you as an entrepreneur, clarity of vision is going to be extremely vital. But to get things done, you need to be able to articulate human behaviors that are coming through in defined value statements. What are your values? Now, here I want to be able to challenge you to avoid falling into the trap of taking on values that anybody and everybody gets to be able to have in their list, because they will not distinguish you. For argument's sake, most people argue that and they state that they are driven by integrity. But we expect that when you do business, that you are going to be a person of honesty. We expect you to be integrous in your conducting of business. It is for that reason, therefore, that it is vital for you to identify what are the values that set you apart from anybody else who is doing business with Exxaro. From there, you are able to articulate a key strategy through which you are going to be able to address the needs of the customer, the needs of the other stakeholders that are linked through to Exxaro as a business. You will therefore need to be able to ensure that you've got very clearly worked out processes. Indeed, the business model is a process and framework that we're going to be able to utilize to take your organization forward. You will also have to appreciate that your organizational structure plays a big part in ensuring that you are effective in executing on your promise. The systems you put in place ensure that you don't have to personally be there all the time to ensure business execution takes place. Finally, it is important for you to be able to think, what is the mindset that drives the way people behave? The paradigms play a significant role in how people deliver, how they see themselves in relation to your organization, how you yourself see yourself in relation to the organization and in relation to your key customer in Exxaro. When you think about those, you will notice that mind has a way of informing body how to respond. And when the paradigms in place, the mindsets and the pictures we have are aligned to, and I want to be able to venture into this right at the beginning, to excellence, you will find that everybody inside the organization will be able to rise up to that challenge. It is this then that begins to define the culture of your organization. We will discuss culture in other settings. This program is in the early stages right now. But I'd like for you to be able to consider this one thing that says whatever culture you develop will be instrumental in the execution of your strategy. Peter Drucker said it, and it is repeated over and over. Culture eats strategy for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and the snacks in between. It is vital, therefore, that you ensure you have a culture that matches that which you promised to your customers, your clients, your various stakeholders who are interested in what you provide. For well over a century, we've seen businesses growing from a variety of stages, morphing, as it were, from agrarian economy all the way to the knowledge economy that we operate within right now. In that period, various approaches to conducting business have been presented through strategic frameworks that are utilized in variety of enterprises. In fact, Harvard Business School professor Michael Porter has been considered as a primary guru of the nowadays, as it were. Well, back in the 1970s, he came with the 5 forces that influence strategy. Over a decade ago, there was a book written by a collaboration of W. Chen Kim and Renee A. Mabone called Blue Ocean Strategy, which is going to be the key reference point we're going to be able to utilize right now as we come to appreciate that this century requires you to be able to disrupt or be disrupted. If we are going to be able to engage in a manner that enables you to be able to disrupt what is happening out there, which is you create uncontested market space and make the competition irrelevant, you would need to be able to understand the distinction between operating in a red ocean and operating in a blue ocean. What is the difference between the two? Effectively, operating in a red ocean is where you are competing within an existing marketplace. You are seeking to be able to beat the competition. You capture more of the existing demand while you make a trade-off between value and cost. Blue ocean, on the other hand, affords you a chance to create new markets altogether, make the competition irrelevant, and create new demands altogether. And as you do that, what you will also be able to do is to disprove that there has got to be a trade-off between value and cost. As we go further into the work that we're going to be embarking on, I'd like for you to take some time to be able to adopt or engage with your business with an approach of creating a blue ocean environment. There are going to be 4 factors that we are going to be able to utilize, and we're going to ask you to take and engage as an activity on these 4 actions. As you review your business, it would be necessary to be able to contemplate that which is provided for by the Blue Ocean strategy. It provides a 4-action framework through which we can actually really look into how we've been faring in industry and in business and start asking which of the factors that industry takes for granted should be eliminated altogether that we as a company have been providing. Second, what factors should be reduced well below industry standard because everybody expects them, but they're not really adding value. Thirdly, you start looking into which factors should be raised well above industry standard so as to distinguish us so that others may want to be able to do business with us. And fourth and finally, it is to be able to consider which factors should be created that industry has never offered, and that affords you a space to come through as an innovator. When you do that, you will find that you are a value creator. Put differently, eliminating and reducing are the factors that have to do and focus themselves on cost management and cost containment. While on the other hand, raising and creating is about increasing value and making things come through for the better. It is for this reason, therefore, that I'd like to encourage you to take seriously, spend some time reviewing your business. And next thing we do is an activity that I want you to be able to engage with wholeheartedly because it will mean a difference between success and a repeat of what may have been done by others but did not yield the results that they are proud of, and you should not fall prey of the same. I'd like for you to take some time, really, now look into your existing business, your enterprise, and check for yourself. The first activity is one wherein I invite you to be able to look into which factors that the industry takes for granted should be eliminated altogether. You are in the industry, you have a good appreciation. So take some time to reflect on that, write it down, and you may want to be able to put this on the discussion board. I now invite you to a second area that is vital in terms of dealing with cost containment. Which factors should be reduced well below the industry standard? Factors that your company has been trapped into delivering on them, but essentially the value that the customer gets out there is minuscule. What could you reduce well below the industry standards and still remain competitive in your business space? The first area of value creation is an opportunity of looking into factors that should be raised well above the industry standard, which when you deliver them, they will make your customer, Exxaro, and any other that you do business with to look up to you and say you are truly a value-adding enterprise. The second area for value creation and fourth aspect in terms of the four action framework is your consideration of factors that should be created that the industry has never offered before. It's an opportunity for you to be innovative. Consider those. Spend some time, engage with that. Former First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt said it beautifully. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. As an entrepreneur, you have specific dreams and you would want to be able to have them fulfilled. And in your enterprise and its association and ongoing relationship with Exxaro, you are going to be able to fulfill your dreams. Go for it with everything in you. Returning to the work of Jeff Henderson in knowing what you are for, as an entrepreneur and leader of your business, you want to stay on purpose. The area of purpose is in paying attention to the two stakeholders, yourself and society. Society is out there constantly monitoring the effect you have on them as you draw employees from there and you play your part in that society as a responsible corporate citizen. But doing all of that when you are feeling strange and having out of body experience will mean that the enterprise is not an embodiment of yourself. Therefore, pay attention to why you started the business in the first place. Leave out that which drove you to set up the business. An effective entrepreneur would ensure that they're working on the business and they hire people who will work in the business. Those who work in the business are the managers who ensure the profitability of your business. Therefore, you delegate the responsibility to your manager to always know and understand what is the customer's need. Are we meeting the customer's need? And secondly, are they mobilizing the teams and ensuring that they are all aligned to the core mission and vision that you established for the business? Through this, you are able to monitor effectiveness of the performance of your teams. Literary author and poet George Bernard Shaw many years ago articulated that this is true joy in life, being used for a purpose recognized by yourself as a mighty one. That links back to what we just heard from Jeff Henderson. Being thoroughly worn out before you are thrown on the scrap heap. Being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. That is extracting from society and nature. He further says, life is no brief candle to me. It's sort of a splendid torch which I have got a hold of for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. This is about legacy. When you think about the sustainability of your business, this is where your joy will be. When your grandchildren look back with pride at what you have begun and what you have established, and it has had impact on so many people out there. Being purpose driven requires to be able to answer three key questions for yourself and for your team. When you think about your company in relation to its delivery at Exxaro, what is the specific job that your customer in Exxaro is hiring you to do? Because there are many other people out there who are delivering variety of services. But what do they hire you to do? Why you in the first place? The second, which has to do with strategy, is the strategic link. How does your team, your organization connect to Exxaro's mission and strategy and your company's mission and strategy? Spend some time reflecting on that. And finally, look into your money making or resource generation model. How does your team contribute to the economic model of your organization as well as the economic model of Exxaro, your primary customer? When you're clear about those, your team purpose statement is going to be easy. Answer all three questions: the job to be done, your strategic link, and your money making model. You are in business to generate as much money as possible while at the same time doing good. Your organization will do exceptionally well when you have clarity of your end in mind. In my time working with the late Dr. Stephen R. Covey, the second habit of highly effective people is begin with the end in mind. I'd like to believe that you are participating in this program with clarity of at least ensuring that when you go back to your organization and over the 8 months that you're going to be participating in this program, you will be able to enable top class performance for yourself, for your team, and for the whole organization as a whole. Secondly, you are going to take time to equip and grow leaders so as to free yourself to stay as a strategic thinker. Thirdly, you will make excellence the standard by which your organization is known. After all, excellence is a habit in itself. The story goes that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence is a habit. Alas, so is mediocrity. If you take time to repeat all three of these, you will stand out as a business owner. As it turns out to be, we have crossed over to 2021 with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement. But underneath all of this, we still operate within a COVID-19 environment. Therefore, it is going to be necessary for you to ensure that your business is functioning in a manner that brings out the best that it can so that it is relevant to Exxaro, to the South African market, and also to anybody else who is doing business with you. Operating within the COVID-19 environment and going into the future requires determination amongst each and every one of us. Booker T. Washington said this many years ago, but it is relevant and resonates even now. Your success is not measured so much as the position that you have reached in life, as it is by the obstacles that you have overcome. Stay the course. You will also appreciate that some of the adversities that you've gone through have come through specifically to shake your foundation in terms of your character, to see if that which you believe in and you value is really worth standing for. The story of success is not complete without drawing from Winston Churchill, who said those many years ago, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. You may have encountered some challenges during 2020. You may even be going through this month, the next month, with some significant issues that you're needing to be able to resolve. Carry on, because it is in your pursuit of the ideal you set up right from the beginning that you will rise up. Fall 6 times, rise 7 times. Writing very early in the start of the 20th century, L. Nightingale said, "Success is a progressive realization of a worthwhile ideal." You are part of this program. There are some key things that you have set for yourself. I'd like to believe that this engagement spurs you into delivering exceptional work for yourself, for the organization, for your customers, and indeed for South Africa. May it be your best year going forward.